up, everyone? Anthony here again from Mashup Math. Thank you again so much for joining me on this lesson. Not going to talk anymore. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this lesson on applying the distributive property. Before we even talk about that, let's talk about sushi. Oh my God, that looks good. So let's consider a chef who is preparing 3 identical platters of sushi. Each platter will have 3 different sushi rolls and a dollop of wasabi. To complete each platter, the chef must distribute each type of sushi roll and the wasabi evenly to each plate. And now they're ready to be served. And I kind of want one. So now as we continue our journey of exploring the distributive property, let's ask the question, what about numbers? How does it apply? So if we add the example 3 multiplied by the sum of 8 and 2 in parentheses here. Now we know that 8 plus 2 is equal to 10, and we know that 3 multiplied by 10 is just equal to 30, and that was pretty simple. So knowing that that product equals 30 is something that we're going to keep in our back pocket for the moment. Let's return back to where we started, having 3 being multiplied by the sum of 8 and 2. Here's how distributing works. We take the value outside of the parentheses, in this case 3, and first we multiply it by the first term in parentheses, 3 times 8. Then our next symbol is a plus sign, so we're just going to keep that going, keep the plus sign there. And then we're going to distribute that 3 by the second item in the parentheses, in this case 3 times 2. Now continuing on, we know that 3 times 8 is just equal to 24, and we know that 3 times 2 is equal to 6, and now 24 plus 6, if we add those two values together, of course, equals 30. We get the same answer. Cool. So for that simple example, keep in mind the way that we distributed the value outside of the parentheses to each item inside of the parentheses using multiplication. So before we move on to some examples, let's take a moment to visualize the distributive property. Ooh. So if for some reason we wanted to multiply a set of grapes by the sum of a heart and a seahorse, that would be equivalent to the product of the grapes and the heart plus the product of the grapes and a seahorse. So really keep in mind here that these two things are equal. Okay, we can't evaluate further here because these are just symbols, but understand that the left side of the equal sign and the right side are equivalent even though they're expressed differently.